92.3 The Moose. We're live from the Moose Country Club, and we got stars in the house. Kip Moore, welcome to Colorado, man.
Good to be here, man. Good to be here. I always love being in the state.
So, have you had the opportunity to do many shows over after during the year that we don't mention?
No, I mean I've done five or six. We started last weekend. We had 3 shows last weekend. I think I've had 6 total shows in a year and 5 months.
Now, the last few that you've done, were they all full band? Or
yeah, they were full band last weekend.
Because I know we've had just some different artists that have come through town, and it was.
I've done some acoustic things,
just
private acoustic things and stuff like that. But we're just now getting into the full band thing.
How have you had the nerves, the bugs, the butterflies, or has it been just get me on stage, I'm ready to go?
I don't think I've had the nerves. I'm an introvert by nature, and this is a very odd profession to have. It's the most extroverted career you can have.
Right.
So I think for me, it took me a second to get back into the thought, of turning that switch on.
Kind of a game face.
Because people that have been in my shows, and we've been headlining for years now, and it's like I'll play for 3 hours. So it's like that whole putting back on that entertainer cap. That might have given me a little bit of anxiety, but once I get out there, it's like I can turn it on and that's like a bike for me.
Do you remember your first paid gig?
Wow, nobody's ever asked me that. I would say it was, I did the bar band circuit in South Georgia long before I moved to Nashville, so all of those were paid gigs, and I would say, the Mellow Mushroom in Valdosta, Georgia was my first paid gig. And that particular Mellow Mushroom was mainly, people knew it as a music venue. It had this amazing stage. It was a really killer venue. So that was my first time.
Did you ever imagine that you would go from Georgia to the country jamming stage?
Not at that time. But once I set the wheels in motion in my mind, like once I was like, okay, I'm going to go after this and I'm going to move to Nashville, and then, I envisioned all of it. And I think that you have to do that. I tried to put it all out there in the universe that I was going to go get it.
Yeah, the other day when we were talking to Travis Denning, it's kind of the same question, and he was saying that, you don't imagine it, you kind of hope for it, you dream for it, you wish for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when it starts to come true, it's like, I can't even imagine what it's like to sit up on stage and have 20, 30,000 people losing their mind.
It can be amazing, and it can be the most euphoric experience and the most lonely place on the planet all at the same time. Like, it's a very... and I don't think people talk about that as much because most people just want to give that positive spin on everything.
Right.
But when you're facing a daunting crowd that's just kind of, for whatever reason, it's a very kind of lethargic. It can be the most vulnerable, lonely feeling place on planet Earth. But then at the same breath, the next night or in that same show, if you can turn them, it's the most magical euphoric feeling you can tap into.
Well, you're the guy out there.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I always
you.
think about comedians. I feel like, my job is tough, but I couldn't imagine being a comedian if you've got a flat crowd. Like, that seems like that would be the toughest job on earth.
I think at some point you just tap out and say, have a good night. Peace out, everybody.
I think so.
All right, so last question. All right, grew up in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're 12 years old. It's Saturday. You're at home. What are you doing?
Oh, wow, man. Well, we lived out in the country. So I didn't come in until dark. It was kind of, my mom wouldn't let us come in until dark. It was like, shut the door. Me and my 2 brothers. We roamed in the woods all day long. It was fishing. It was finding little fishing holes. That's what it was. It was riding dirt bikes. So that's what a Saturday was for me. My dad used to take us to a place called Video Warehouse every Saturday night. So I would probably say that's what would happen, and it would never fail. I'd check out one of the Rocky movies. That was my go-to every time.
Do you miss the VHS tapes?
Yeah, I think that I miss it for the reasons that it was a moment. That was a bonding moment between my dad and my 2 brothers, because that was an event that we looked forward to, and I think that there's the convenience of just clicking on your, you know, Netflix now. Yeah, it's nice and it's convenient, but at the same time, we're losing a lot of those things that are tangible, that you can't get from just clicking a button.
Amen. Amen. Couldn't agree more. So, all right. Thanks for coming by, dude. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Looking for it. Kip Moore going out today, 8:30 out on the main stage. Oh, and by the way, the 25,000 people, you're also leading into Carrie Underwood. So no, that man on an island, you're all good. Don't worry about it. It's all you. Don't worry.
I got this.
All right. Kip Moore, 92.3, The Moose.